Matthew Gillespie says, I'd love to see your take on the Doom Fang / Monte Carlo build. Well, looks like you got your wish, cause it's Doom Fang time. This is one of those exotics that I haven't heard anything about in seemingly forever, and I have a strong gut feeling that not many people use it because they really don't get just exactly what it can do with the right mods. I mean, I just slapped that goblin in the face and I got a quarter of my super back. How come I never see anybody using this? Honestly, it just kinda goes to show that each exotic in Destiny really is unique and individual, except for Aeon's Safe, and Heart of Inmost Light because you can't hardly ever stack Empowered, so what's the point? And Capri's Horn. And Armamentarium, because you can't stack it with Magnitude to get a third grenade charge. Okay, so there's actually a lot of Titan exotics that I think are equivalent to a hot pile of cat vomit. Look, let's just get back to the exotic at hand, yeah? It's at its absolute best when it's paired with the Bottom Tree Sentinel because of this ability called In the Trenches that gives extra super energy for any kills made while surrounded, which also includes the Shield Bash, which is the entire point of using Doom Fang to begin with, so yeah. Let's take a look at the exotic itself real quick. Doom Fang restores super energy on void melee kills and allows for melee kills while casting to recharge your shield throw, and that, in return, extends your cast on successful hits. It's literally begging you to cast as much as you possibly can, so I'm going to learn you how to do this. Wait for it. Slam! Look at all of that super energy. But before anything else, we gotta start with mods. Those are the bread and butter of all of this, and they are way more of a benefit than Doom Fang ever could have dreamt of being all on its own. 2 stacks of hands-on, energy converter, and taking charge. Those are the big selling points here. And no, before anyone even mentions it, do not take sustained charge. I know exactly what you're thinking. If we're taking Monte Carlo, then sustained charge will be way more handy than taking charge. Well, you're wrong. 2 kills with a Masterwork shotgun will drop an orb, whereas 3 kills from an auto rifle will sometimes, maybe, generate a charge. The mod sucks, it's a disgrace, and I literally wrote it in my notes that I needed to talk shit about it. We'll get to exotic weapons in a minute. For now, let's talk more about mods. Energy Converter generates X amount of super energy when you throw a grenade based on how many charges of light you're currently carrying, but it will never generate energy past 50% of your max. Like I've said 1,000 times before, if you're at 49% and you throw a grenade with 5 charges of light in your pocket, you're only going to get 1% of your super energy back, which is absolutely worthless, pointless in every conceivable way. If you're already above 50% of your super max, you can throw as many grenades as you want and you're not going to lose any charges, so that's definitely an important thing to remember. Why this is so crucial, though, is because a lot like Shards of Galanor, you can use this mod immediately after a cast to return large amounts of super energy. It's a little wonky at times, and I'm certain that there are things about it that I just don't quite understand yet, but essentially, a single charge is worth anywhere from 5 to 10% super energy. At 5 stacks, there's a potential return of 50%, but I've only seen that much actually returned like maybe once or twice. I don't know, don't ask. Doom Fang restores anywhere from 10 to 15% super energy without any mods or buffs to it. It really kind of depends on what it is that you're slapping, but it'll be anywhere between those numbers. When you think about it, that's a nice little chunk there, but it gets better. Stuff 2 stacks of hands-on in your Titan Towel and that number goes up to around 25%, even though there are technically diminishing returns from double stacking that. The 25% is also taking into account being surrounded, so the diminishing returns can suck my toe. It doesn't matter because super energy. Moving on. Lastly, you're going to need a stack of charged up and a stack of supercharged, or whatever combination of mods you want to use. I don't care. The whole point with the Charge of Light mods is for energy converter. The more stacks you have, the more energy you're getting back when you finally throw that grenade immediately after a cast. I cannot stress that enough. Grenade always comes before the shield bash, immediately after a cast. I know I've shown this clip like 100 times, but it's crucial, so you're going to see it again. You're going to want to throw a grenade immediately after your cast ends to get the most amount of energy back, and then go in for the shield bash. If you bash and then toss, you're going to lose out on an exorbitantly large amount of energy, and you'll be sad. Like me. Next, we're going to go over exotic weapons, because no build is actually complete until you have 2 pieces of yellow gear, and if you don't, then you're just doing it wrong. Monte Carlo is a big chunk of the meat with this build here. It's the second most essential asset to it because it's what charges your melee attack and makes a low-strength tier Doom Fang build possible to begin with. Now, we all know how Monte Carlo works. Dealing damage restores melee energy, and there's a slight chance that a kill can fully charge it, so there's no real need to go in depth. It's a reliable weapon that might not be able to break barriers or stagger champions, champions, but it basically gives you a free melee attack, so I'm not going to complain about it. So when we look at everything that we've got in its purest and most barren form, we've got a decent build here. Hit things and get energy back. Hit things in a crowd and get extra energy back. With everything that we've talked about, from the mods to the gear to the subclass, we're looking at a potential 50% of our super generated from energy converter and a quarter generated after a successful shield bash from Doom Fang combined with hands-on. On a good day, if all the planets and stars in our systems are aligned, you're going to come out of that cast with 5 charges ready to go and a melee attack ready to blow, and you are immediately going to throw that grenade and then smack someone in the mouth. And if Luke Smith is smiling down on you that day, you're going to see a 75% energy return within 15 seconds after your cast ends. That is fantastic. I don't care who you are or what you think. No Titan should have this kind of power. So essentially, here's the game plan when a combat encounter starts. Building those charges is the first priority. Personally, I'm using the Aikilo shotgun because mine is masterworked, and like I said earlier, it generates orbs way faster than sustained charge can generate charges of light. It'll likely be the least entertaining thing you've done all year, but you're going to want to try to avoid chucking grenades before your super is at a half charge. If you don't, you'll just burn all the charges of light you build up for next to no energy. What I've noticed works for me best is a hit and run type deal. I run in there, I get like 2 charges or whatever, and then I bounce so I can recover. Once you have those charges, which should only take but a moment, you want to start spamming your shield bash. You'll get a truckload of energy back from it, especially when you consider that a single strike with all these mods will restore roughly a quarter of your super energy. Monte Carlo is there to fill that melee charge. It's super crucial. This build is worthless without it, so utilize it. Now, once you get your cast away and have a blast, but remember that you built those charges up for the extra super energy after your cast ends. As soon as it's over, you really need to toss that grenade to get the chain going again. The longer you wait to throw that grenade, the less energy it's going to generate when you finally do throw it. We're not dealing with an exotic that returns energy after a cast, but still, your charges of light can only restore up to 50% of your max charge. You might not necessarily have to immediately throw it, but the sooner the better. This is way easier in reality than it actually sounds. It's a lot like a circular energy flow in a sense, where you rinse and repeat a set list of combat chores to generate A so you can use B. It's not complicated. It's so easy a Titan could do it. That's my shitty joke for the day. I'm leaving.